Well, first of all, Bobby Hurley was my favorite player of all time because he passed the
Speed
ball
ball.
to me, you
Right.
know. And so, no, Bobby was great. Um, no, it's an exciting time, and obviously, I succeeded Jerry Colangelo,
Yes.
who, along with Coach K, had an
Yep.
incredible run together starting in 2006. And I came in during this sort of Olympic quad.
Yep.
We had our World Cup last summer. We didn't fare as well in the World Cup. The women won the gold medal in
Yep.
their World Cup. But the Olympics were absolutely incredible. And both teams were pushed. They were tested. There was just excellence on the court all over the world. We saw Serbia in our semifinal games. They were so worthy and deserving of winning, came up short.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You saw
Oh,
that
you
one?
did?
Yeah, I
There you
did.
go.
See? Okay.
But it was just phenomenal. I mean, the fact that we got tested, we got pushed, we had to show some fight and some toughness collectively to win that game, but also win the gold medal against France. The women's team got pushed, and a very close, tough matchup they had in the gold medal game with France as well. So I think it was just a win-win, not just for USA basketball and our continued excellence, but it was a win-win for basketball universally. Like, I think all across the globe, if you're a fan of the game, the Olympic basketball scene was spectacular.
And even if you don't know the game or watch the game normally, like I was totally into it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was really great. Talk to me about investing and where do you see opportunities? I know that you and your wife are also investors in the Orlando Pro women's soccer team, and we were talking about that over the last couple hours as well as to where the opportunity set is, sort of where women's soccer is going to go.
Look, so I have two daughters who are jocks, who are athletes, and so
Shocker.
yes, yeah. And I think sort of through them, really getting exposed to women's sports and really wanting them to see women professional athletes. So whether it was the WNBA or the NWSL, we live in Orlando, we were fans and consumers at first, and we got so caught into it and just loving it and having a passion for these teams. We also saw the potential and the upside for growth. And so the opportunity to invest in the NWSL, the Orlando Pride, we're in first place right now. Yay. We haven't not lost a game. We've
Good,
had a few
good.
ties and all wins. But I just feel the momentum is really growing. And now you have superior leadership. Jessica Berman is a
Yep.
fantastic commissioner, has great vision, can execute that vision, has surrounded herself with a solid team. But also we have professional ownership now. We have owners now who own other sports, who've been in this, who understand it, see the long-term trajectory of the business. And so I wouldn't say we're at an inflection point right now, but I think we have long-term positioned ourselves nicely for great success. And I think of all the sports leagues, I really believe this. I think the NWSL has the greatest upside.
Yep.
And so really excited. I was excited to see Jessica and Midge Purse, one of
Yep,
the
Midge,
stars in
yep.
the
We
league.
talked to her too. Mhm.
And we're thrilled to be involved.
Where do you see basketball as a global sport? We saw it on at Paris. I mean, the Olympics all over, great competitiveness. How does the NBA, how do you think the NBA taps into that? I mean, there's so many international players playing in the NBA now, but what do you think they should be doing here?
Well, the game has become a global sport. You think
Yep.
of the '92 Dream Team and sort of what they did. They inspired a world, multiple generations of basketball players. Now the NBA is 30% international.
Wow.
And I can go all over the world, and people recognize me and they identify me with the NBA brand.
Yep.
The NBA is a global marketing and public relations firm. The players, they may come in, they may leave, they may, replenishes itself, but the ability to market and promote is what they've mastered and done a great job of that in the last 32 years since the Dream Team. I think, though, where we can continue to improve, obviously domestically with our development. I think the international basketball community has kind of caught us or maybe even surpassed us in some ways with how they develop young talent. I also see expansion, not just here in possibly Las Vegas or Seattle, but I talk about going over to Europe, talk about partnering with the Euro League. I'm an investor in NBA Africa.
Okay.
And
cool.
the opportunity there and the potential as a lot of the nations in on that continent are still developing, but they consume the game. And so the league is doing a number of efforts, a number of initiatives, and just sees the continued sort of growth opportunities that the global media markets.
Yep.
And the game is in a good place, and I think has even greater potential as we move forward.